Life in my 40s have been wonderful and interesting and odd, and so I'm excited to share 9 things I did not expect about life in my 40s today with you. It's funny because when I think back to when my mom was 40, like I remember being this big, like over the hill themed birthday party and jokes about menopause and hot flashes. And honestly, that's really all I remember. And so when all these other things happened that I was surprised about, I realized there's not a lot of information out there for women other than menopause. And I guess in some ways, this video almost would be like, hey Erin, in your 30s, these are some things that are going to be happening soon. Here's a heads up. So if that can help you like it would have helped me in my 30s, I'm winning. Feeling off and not really knowing why. Like not depressed, not unhappy, just like a general feeling of not feeling like myself. And I'm sure for some people this might come with some like crazy symptoms, but for me it's just like this general overall mood of feeling off, not really sure where else to go with that. Number 2, I've always been able to work out for like 20 or 30 minutes and whatever, achieve what I wanted to achieve, right? Well, really, I realized once I hit 40 that I needed to work out longer to achieve that. And hey neighbors. And I guess I found that surprising because when I was working out for 30 minutes a day and gaining weight, my husband's like, you might want to try working out for an hour, or you might want to try working out twice a day, or you might want to do 30 minutes of cardio and strength training and lifting, because I typically used to only do cardio one day, weightlifting the next day. So I guess just 1, it takes longer to lose weight, and 2, you actually have to put in a little bit more effort, which honestly has been fun. On the topic of body, wellness, health, all of that, I had absolutely no idea that stored emotions and trauma could equal weight gain and digestive problems and all of those things. So the chickens are coming to say hi. So me doing 30 days of somatics, which I probably want to do another round of that, was a big eye-opener. I had no idea the connection there between our emotions and our gut health and storing trauma, and just how these tiny little movements can equal like a big release. And so that realization was huge. I've been telling everyone I know about it. So big fan of somatics. Don't mind the chicken noises. Before I go on to the next one, I just want to tell you, I was very positive about going into my 40s, like super positive. I wasn't ashamed or embarrassed. And I felt really good about turning 40. And I was really excited about it because quite frankly, my 20s, I was kind of just trying to survive. And my 30s, I hustled way too hard. So my 40s, I was looking forward to kind of like enjoying the fruits of my labor, or really just like the wisdom that I've learned. I've never been one to like want to dye gray hair. Granted, I only have 2 and you probably can't even see them with how my hair is today, but you're never gonna catch me like using Botox or trying to hide wrinkles or learning about sleeping on my side to prevent wrinkles. I'm like, hey, we're all getting older. Like, let's embrace the wrinkles. Yeah. So next up, I had no idea. I had no idea they affected weight. I had no idea they affected mood and sleep. And, I really feel like there needs to be some sort of required education for women on hormones. Maybe, I don't know, high school, college. Like, we need to know about these things, and we need to not feel so confused or so much like not like ourselves when they start happening or when they start changing. Frankly, I'm not sure I'll ever officially go through things like hot flashes. TMI, I know, but my period stopped in my late 30s, and I never dealt with hot flashes or night sweats or no sleeping or any of those things. So yeah, hormones. Oh, speaking of hormones, I actually took, and this is not sponsored, I actually did a really great class called Balanced Babe Blueprint. I will link to that below. That taught me a lot. I think I took that when I was 40. I'm gonna be 42 this year. Yeah, I took it when I was 40. It was all about balancing your hormones and why it's important, and how we can do that through food and through exercise and all of those things. If that's something that y'all are interested in, again, I'll link it below. I could also do a whole nother video on the topic of balancing hormones. Not like I'm an expert, just what I took away from it. Something that I've really enjoyed about being in my 40s, granted, I know I'm only 41, so to all of y'all who are in your mid to late 40s, I get it. I still have a lot more to learn, and that's okay. You've got grace for me there, right? Something that I really, really enjoyed learning is more about who I am, more about myself. And I've had some really great books that I've read recently really kind of open my eyes to things and help me let go of old patterns and help me embrace new boundaries, and just a deeper look at who I am and why I do things the way I do, and come to peace with that. I think I spent a lot of my 20s and 30s being too hard on myself and not even really realizing what that looks like. Like if I make a mistake, like the whole perfectionist thing, if I make a mistake or if someone corrects me in a rude way and I take it the wrong way, like I used to let like that affect the rest of my day. And so I think as you get older, you give yourself more grace, and because you're starting to understand yourself more. That didn't sound right. And it takes time. It does take time. I didn't expect to have so many revelations about myself. One that was a little bit more on the hard side for me was, you know how I told you I just like felt off. This feeling of being like in this dark cocoon for way too long, and it felt weird and confusing. And you know, I know that it, for me personally, it directly relates to kind of like the end of a season of business for me and the end of working for a friend. And so it kind of like left me in this what next space. And I know a lot of people go through that in midlife when they kind of evolve into a new career or a new business, or maybe they're catapulted into their dreams. Maybe it's something they've always wanted to do. And although I don't get paid to do YouTube, one day I will. I know with this, it's something I've always wanted to do, and it took me quite a while to get here. But just this general feeling of being in a cocoon. And I just remember telling my husband, like, I don't know what's wrong. I know I'm like, something is happening in here and I'll see it soon, and so will you, but you gotta trust me. Like, I'm okay, but I'm in here trying to grow somehow by myself. And we know from cocoons, it's dark and it's lonely, and obviously none of us have ever actually been in a cocoon, but you know what I mean. Just the general metaphor of like growing as a caterpillar into a butterfly. It's dark, and I'm sure the little caterpillars, maybe they don't completely know what's happening while it's happening, but that's how I felt. All right, next up, purpose. So I know generally, like as a human on earth, like the idea of spreading light and encouraging others, like I know that's my purpose, but what that looks like in a tangible way every single day after you go through like the ending season of a business or a career, like it totally falls in with this idea of purpose or confusion or cocoon. But outside of my family, I'm like, what's my purpose? Like, it can't just be to make meals and do dishes and homeschool. Like, there has to be something else. And so, yeah, I'm wondering if a lot of people, like, I would love to hear from you below in the comments. Like, is this something you've gone through? And if there's been a tool or a book that you've read that's supported you while you've had this feeling, please share. Next up, the general realization that probably 90% of my day is spent taking care of other people and of other people's things. And I almost feel guilty saying that. But as a homeschool mom and wife and, you know, daughter, all the things, like, I never really realized until recently, oh my gosh, almost everything I do during the day is about taking care of other people. So that for me was a big realization, because I wanted to make sure I was doing the things to take care of myself, which I've always been pretty good about working out, but other things like, you know, prayer, journaling, all the things I share in my channel, all the ways I've been trying to grow or get out of my head, I'm sharing them because it's stuff that I'm starting to do or realize just how important it is and want to share it with you. But this by far is not a complaint, because I get to do these things. I am blessed to get to do these things for my family. But it was just this big realization, like, oh my gosh, like soon, like the kiddos won't be here soon. So I need to take care of myself and do things that I also enjoy doing, whether it's hobbies or whether it's grow a business, grow a YouTube channel, so that when they are gone, I am not left completely empty feeling because my babies have left the nest, right? Last but not least is a good one. I did not expect the blaringly obvious signs that I would get at 40 and 41, almost 42, that, I needed to slow down. Oh my gosh, did I need to slow down? Okay, I'm gonna sit back up. When I was 40, the week I turned 40, I fell on my face in the driveway. At 41, I got pulled over for speeding. And a few days before 2024, I totaled my car. And literally, all of those things were because I needed to slow down. So not only, you know, I learned in my 30s that I needed to slow down in work and hustling and chill out with the goals and the overachieving, but then in my 40s, it's like, okay, no, physically, slow down too. Not just like hustling to achieve, just generally slow down. So those of you that have this slow living lifestyle, share with me how you got started, because I'm going to be documenting that soon. This is something I want to take on, something I want to share, because I know just how needed it is. So thanks for following me through the house today. I should have given you a tour. Kidding, that might be weird. Do people even do that anymore? There's been a lot that I've learned that has been good. So much has been good. I'm so grateful to be in my 30s. Way better than my 20s and 30s. Did I say 40s? So grateful to be in my 40s. Way better than my 20s and 30s. A lot of things I didn't expect to be learning, and I know there's more to come. So there might be a part 2, 3, 4 of this, who knows? But I look forward to connecting with you in Slow Down, Erin. I look forward to connecting with you in the comment, and I'll see you next week.